Hey guys, this is Wave 618. It is the 29th of May 2019 and it's just gone 5:30 in the evening BST. So in today's video we're going to do an update on Bitcoin. So what we're going to essentially be looking at is the long-term count. So we're going to just quickly summarize the long-term count that I've drawn out here. Then we're going to look at the intermediate count, essentially explaining this parabolic price action that we've seen, currently exceeding the 8,300 level, gone slightly higher all the way up to around 8,900. We're going to determine whether this is going to go higher or lower, and in order to decipher that, we're going to home in on even as far as the 15-minute chart, just to get a better idea of where price is going. Alright, so that's what's going to be involved in today's video. If you're interested, stay tuned. Alright guys, okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, we're going to start talking about the long-term count on Bitcoin. Quickly, just before we jump into this, I want to mention, just because recently I set up on my website, wave618.com, so this is the website, basically this new course that was opened up last week. So people have been joining and the community is growing, which is nice to see. I want to make you aware, if you are interested, we're starting at low fees for the time being. It may work its way up later on, but whatever fee you start subscribing at is the fee that will be constant for you. And if you want to sample that, you can, if you go into here for free, there is a sample of the first video in the series for the cryptology course. Basically, the cryptology course is covering the top 15 market cap cryptocurrencies. And as well as that, you get access to the Discord that people in this course also have access to. So this is a very useful growing community where we share the analysis that I use. People have really got the hang of my strategy and the tools that I use, and it's been really useful to share and debate all the different charts using those strategies. So yeah, that's the next video in the series is out tomorrow. So if you want to take advantage of that, then you can sign up there if you're interested. The other thing is we're going to do a 50% discount on the course, which is the Works course. And yeah, just to remind you, you do get Discord community access with this. You just have to request it after signing up. Yeah, so details about that, I'll put the link to the discount in the description of this video. But okay, I won't dwell too much on that. Let's home in on Bitcoin. So yeah, this is our long-term count. So we've got W, 3 waves down. There's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there was a very good Fibonacci relationship between those waves, which I've addressed many times in previous videos, so I won't dwell on it because there's so much to cover in this video. Then we've got our X wave, which is basically a descending triangle that's A, B, C, D, E. And then we get our last 3 waves down to make our Y wave, and that 3200 was essentially the target which got hit. It was kind of superseded. It's slightly going down to around 3130, I believe. So since then, we've basically seen this price move up, which has gone up very, very dramatically, and it's basically taken out this downward descending pitchfork here. So basically, when you get your first 2 waves of an Elliott wave count, what I like to do when I apply pitchforks is I use those first 2 waves to apply the pitchfork. So you basically use the start of the first wave as the first pivot, end of the first wave as the second pivot, and then end of the second wave as the third pivot. You then get your pitchfork drawn for you using here the shift pitchfork, which is usually the pitchfork that gets adhered to best in corrective price action. And why is it significant? Well, price often bounces off these pitchfork lines, but also it's also significant because when this upper warning line here gets taken out, it signifies a major change in trend. So it basically it's really telling us the downward trend has essentially finished. And you can see here, after taking out this level, price really did go vertical. So yeah, for me, this is where I switch my bias from bearish to bullish, just because that major line had been taken out. So I posted a video about this, I think it was around 8 months ago, saying that this line was really important to watch. And then basically, yeah, we went parabolic and we absolutely took out this horizontal resistance level, took it out very cleanly, which caught pretty much everyone by surprise. Everyone was expecting a little bit of a pullback around this level, around 6,400, but it absolutely flew through it. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the wave count in this price action here and where we can expect to see a pullback. So first of all, it looks like we've got an impulse here and corrective price action here. And then we've seen this move up. So the way I've got it is this is a wave 1, this is wave 2, and then we're in wave 3 right now. So this is the point I want to address. Now there's an argument that wave 3 finished here. Okay, so our major wave 3, so that's our wave 1, 2, wave 3 here. And then we could still be in wave 4 at present, which I'll address in a moment. Or alternatively, there's another play out where we're still in wave 3, it's not quite finished, and that's probably my preferred count, so I'll address that first. So if this is still wave 3, we've got our pitchfork here, so first 2 waves of wave 3, so we've got our wave 1, wave 2, so you can see here 5 waves up, corrective price action, 3 waves down to here, again using the first 2 waves to plot our pivots. You get this very nice original pitchfork we're using here, which is useful for impulsive price action. We get a lower warning line supporting price action here, and then price shoots up to the median line, tests it several times, then we go sideways to our lower warning line before then going up to our upper warning line. So clearly a very important pitchfork where the median lines are getting respected time and time again. So the question is now, how do we apply the Elliott wave count to this price action? So the way I've got it is this is a wave 1, wave 2, and to me it looks like this is a wave 1, 2, 3 up to here. The reason I say that is because I think we're going to have to zoom in on the 4 hourly here. So if this is our wave 1 starting here, wave 2 down to here, bringing our fib lines across. So I've got this 1.618 extension, probably where wave 3, it's a very typical extension for wave 3. So often you'll see price slightly overshoot, wick above. So I've got this as a wave 1, 2, 3, then this is 4, and then wave 5 is often, in Bitcoin and crypto especially, it's a parabolic move where the move is often much greater than the first 3 waves. So the way I've got it is this wave 1, 2, 3, 4 around here, and then our 5th wave of wave 3 will be a 1, 2, 3, 4 has been this triangle which we'll have to zoom in on to look at it better, and now we're seeing wave 5 go higher, and I'll address shortly why 9,400 is a significant resistance level. We could find resistance there, but if that gets taken out, the next key resistance that I see is around 11,700. So obviously that looks like if we do go that high, we'd be exceeding this pitchfork, and for that reason I certainly would be looking to take profits around the 9,400, which seems to give a bit more confluence with the so horizontal resistance and pitchfork both giving confluence around that level. So yeah, as I say, it'll be a 1, 2, 3 wave 4 triangle, and then our 5th wave. So just to look at that triangle in a bit more detail, on the hourly I think we can see it. So there's a couple of ways of looking at this triangle. I've mentioned it quite a few times on Twitter if you follow me there. But so strictly speaking, the A wave came down here, B, C, D, and E. So we've got essentially a pretty horizontal top here, and then ascending lows. On other charts, you don't get this big wick down. For example, on Bitfinex, you'll get this point here being at your low, and then it looks a bit more regular, the lows of the triangle there. This big wick does kind of distort the triangle a little bit. So then, yeah, we get the break above this level, quite impulsive price action going up. Yeah, so that's essentially the wave count if we're looking at it from that perspective. Now, let's just look at it from the other perspective, which I think is really important to address, because you can never know for sure which wave count is going to be respected. So let's look at it from the alternative scenario. So the alternative scenario is this is wave 1, 2, and wave 3 finished here, with this being 1, 2, 3, running flat 4, and 5 up to here. So if that was the case, then we've got this as wave 1, wave 2 down to here, and wave 3 almost, just slightly going above the 4.236 before you start seeing this consolidation. Now the wave 4, if this is the case, you'd expect it to last longer than just this move down, or even just this triangle. I mean, if this is wave 2, you'd expect wave 4 to go on a bit longer than this, in which case there's an argument that wave 4 has not finished. It could be, for example, a running flat. So here you've got, let's go on the hourly chart to see it better, but you could have a wave 4 where this is 3 waves down and this is 3 waves up, and now we're going to see our C wave, which is 5 waves down. So just to show you, if we do a fib, just comparing the fib projection, if this is our wave A, bringing it across, just need to edit that slightly. So we've hit the point 1.236 here, okay? So with a running flat, you'll often see that. You'll hit the 1.236 and then you'll come down. So for example, let's label it first so it's a bit clearer, just for those that aren't so good with Elliott wave. So this is our first 3 waves down to make A, and there's an argument that this is 3 waves up to make B, and then we're going to see our move down. So B has essentially B is a 1.236 extension of wave A, as I've just shown, and then often if we just use that fib, if you use the length of A, we may get a 1-to-1 relationship with C and A to make the running flat. So it may come down to 6,700 here. It's one possibility. Or you could see an expanded flat where price comes down to the 1.382 or 1.618. However, you can see those levels come down to 5,900 and 5,400. And for me, that seems a little bit excessive, considering the fact that price shot up dramatically from this point here around 6,200. It would take a hell of a lot of energy to break this low, in my opinion. And so for that reason, if we do come lower, I expect it to be more of a running flat rather than an expanded flat. However, as I say, Bitfinex, the low doesn't come down this low, it comes to here. So if you're looking at Bitfinex, it may turn out to be an expanded flat, with this being A, B, and C coming down lower than A. Okay. Now I want to make it clear, this is not my preferred count. This is only something I would be looking at if 8,300 fails to hold. So for me, this is how I would determine which count I'm gonna favor. So if we come down below 8,300, I'll be looking for this running flat play out, okay, before we then go even higher to make a wave 5. For the time being, this is not my preferred count. So let's just take this off. My preferred count would be, just going on the 4 hourly, that the wave 3 hasn't yet finished, and saying this is a triangle here, and this is our wave 5 of 5, where we may find some resistance at around 9400, but as I say, if it doesn't hold there, we could go up to 11,700. Because yeah, often the pitchfork can get broken, especially on these aggressive parabolic price moves. Why is 9400 a key level? So let's just zoom out, let's go on the daily. So 9400 is a key level. If we do a fib retracement from the top down to the bottom, so you can see here the 0.382 fib retracement is at 9400. Okay, so we took out the 0.236, and the next fib is the 0.382, which is at 9400. So there are going to be algos that are going to be short at that level. There'll be profit taking at that level. So I do expect some degree of resistance at that level. So that's why I'm not too greedy in looking to go all the way to 11,700 without taking profit. I would certainly be looking to take some profit at the 9400 point. Now on top of that, it's also a significant horizontal level. If we go in on the monthly chart, so this is our monthly, and let's just clean up the chart a bit. So basically you can see these two wicks down here both bounced off. Okay, it's around 92.80, around that level, and it's also in keeping with this high here. So this order block here, this green candle. So again, that's 92.80 as well. So 9300 to 9400 is certainly probably the next destination, next target. That's if we don't go below 8300. As I say, for me, that's the level that I'm really keen to watch to determine which count is preferred. Because if we come below 8300, it's pretty much rejecting, well, to be honest, the triangle gets rejected if this gets taken out here. So 7900, that would be the point of invalidation. So if 7900 gets taken out, then I would no longer be calling this a triangle and a breakout. I would be calling it more of a larger scale running flat, with this being A, B and C, coming down to around that 6700, potentially, probably finding confluence with the lower warning line of the pitchfork. That's what I'll be looking for. So really, it's very key. I want to see 8300 hold, just because it's a key horizontal level here. We've found resistance here time and time again, broke through quite dramatically, and very often price will retest these key levels. So would not be surprised to see price come down a little bit further first before it goes higher. So yeah, as I say, so that wave E of the triangle was at 7900. So really that would be the point of invalidation for me. Now as I said, we're going to have a look on the 15-minute chart. Let's have a look at what price action is doing here. You can see, based on this pitchfork, ascending pitchfork, price is finding a bit of support at this upper warning line at present. But let's look at it on the 15-minute now. So I did look at this. It's looking pretty corrective. This was the end of the triangle here. Impulsive price action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 waves up. So it's quite natural to expect a corrective price action from here. You know, if this was a major C wave down, which should look impulsive, I'd expect it to look more impulsive. At the moment, it's still looking corrective, and that's why right now I'm still of the opinion that 8300 should hold and will go higher. Now, I did mention on my Discord today to the Cryptology members that we have got what looks like a WXYXZ play out, with this being 3 waves down to here, W, X, and 3 waves down to make Y, another 3 waves up to make second X, 3 waves down to make Z. And then using that, we drew our pitchfork, so shift pitchfork because it's corrective, using our first 3 pivots. So first pivot, W came to here, second pivot, third pivot here. So that's the original pitchfork. We want to use shift. Yeah, so basically you can see here the lines got tested quite a lot. The median line, lower median line, came down warning line. It actually breached the warning line, but then came straight back up to the lower median line. And now we're just testing on the median line. And I mentioned how basically on the completion of these corrective price moves, so potential WXYXZ, a means of getting in, you can use moving averages. In particular, I like to look at the hourly EMAs. So mainly the 50 is the key one I look at. So I wait for price to break above the 50 and then I look for a retest. So we've actually retested it. And then the 20, once the 50 has confirmed support, the 20 should then be acting as support following that. So you can see here we've got a WXY, then price came up above the 50, tested it several times, but then you can see the 20 never really acted as good support. It stayed below the 20 and then the 50 broke. Now we've gone above the 50, we're above the 20. I'd expect the 20 to act as support now if this is going to go up from here. Okay, so this is just using moving averages to, time your trade a bit better rather than trying to get in at the bottom. It's a lot better to wait for these moving averages to act as support because they are markers of trend, essentially. So just taking off the moving averages a moment. You can see here, so this was the end of the triangle that I was calling. And so if this is our impulsive move, let's take off magnet mode. If this is our impulsive move up to here, we've retraced 50%, yeah? So there is confluence, there's a Fibonacci retracement. So there's a WXYXZ play out, there's pitchfork support, there's Fibonacci retracement of 50% also. So that was quite a lot of reasons for why it could be considered the end of this temporary correction and a potential move to the next target of 9,400. That's why I decided to take a punt, and when it got above the 50-hour EMA, I did put a position in, but supposing that 50 fails to hold, I will be closing the position. Now, I did mention that there is a possibility it could be an extended correction with this potentially, these 3 waves could be a major W. In fact, let's just change the count to make it clearer. So I did mention this could be a W, X, and then Y comes down further. We'll change our pivot slightly. That'll be our first pivot, or second pivot rather. X would be here. So then shift pitchfork, warning line would be down here, and then there'll be confluence with the 8300 support. There's the 0.618 fib retracement of this impulse move up, and it could be the completion of a WXY. However, with us currently being above the 50-hour EMA, I'm happy to look at this as a potential move up from here. However, if it breaks down, this is the next opportunity for support, in my opinion. It'll be pretty much off the 8300 level, where it could find the completion of a correction. So yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it at present. So we've looked at the long-term count, the intermediate count, the short-term count. I've explained all the different methods in which it could play out, so we're prepared for any play out. And yeah, my preferred count is obviously, as I say, I'm in a position at the moment. However, if the 50-hour EMA doesn't hold, I'll close it down. With a potential opportunity to get back in around 8,300 if price action continues to look corrective down to here, just because we've got that 0.618 support, the 0.618 of the previous impulse. We've got a WXY play out if it does look corrective coming down, and we've got the key horizontal support of 8,300. So yeah, I think that wraps up what I'm looking at in Bitcoin. I do put updates on the Discord, so if you're interested, you know the website wave618.com. There's more information on the website. If you click on each course, it gives you more information about each one. If if you are interested, then feel free to sign up. As I say, there's going to be discounts. You might want to wait for that on the educational course. Links to that will be in the description. Yeah, it'd be good to have more people in the Discord community, which is growing well, but the more the merrier. So yeah, if you enjoyed today's content, leave a like. Feel free to put any queries in the comments below. And yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there, guys. All right, take care.